Hey, today we've got a response and a warning from the Arrowhead team about in-game usernames, and they also talk about live testing. Not only that, General Brasch responds to a player, we also have a community manager's response to a mission bug, and there's much more I'll be covering. If you'd like to support the channel, please hit the like button below at any point, and subscribe and turn on notifications. What we have today is a response from the Arrowhead team about the developers and their in-game usernames. I've covered this a little bit recently about how there are players pretending to be developers. With that being said, just recently the community manager addressed this on Reddit. Her full response can be seen here where she said this. I've seen some threads going around our collective subs about Helldivers with different colored names and markers, along with speculation that these might be developers testing the game in a live environment. Let's put some rumors to bed. First, at present, we do not have utilize any dev tags or other developer identifiers or markers in the game when we play. Our names look just like yours when we play HD2. Second, we do not test the game in a live environment. If someone tells you they're a developer and they start spawning items or other strange behaviors, that person is using exploits to do it. Be vigilant, sweet Helldivers, report dissidents to your democracy officer. So yeah, there's a way to summon unreleased stratagems or weapons in Helldivers 2. It's been going on since launch. However, there's a way to change your name to a certain color, and a few players out there have assumed it was a developer. I actually brought this up in a previous video, and now the community manager is doubling down on it. So again, avoid anyone that might have a colored text name or are spawning items down just randomly. It's not the developers at all. In fact, you won't even know if you're playing with the Helldivers 2 developer, considering I've never seen the Arrowhead developers openly tell everyone what their usernames are. In the past, the CEO has played with some fans, yet that was a while ago. Other than that, as far as I know, none of the Arrowhead developers have given their usernames out just to play, right? It hasn't happened. Now, Baskonator's response about testing in a live environment is not too surprising. If you've ever been on SteamDB, you can check out what the developers have been updating on the branches as of late. For instance, there is this playtest build, so there's no need for them to try out unreleased weapons or stratagems in game since they have a different build that they test all that stuff out on. Also, since they're playing on a different build, this means they will not connect with anyone on a separate patch unless they're also on the same patch as the developers. So that's something to know about. With that aside, we have confirmation that the Democracy Space Station is experiencing a bug. The developers are aware of this issue. A moderator on the Helldivers 2 Discord confirmed this when addressing a player's question about whether the DSS is supposed to have only one tactical action active at a time. So the moderator responded to that player and said that it wasn't properly conveyed and that it's a known issue. Sure, we could take this reply as if it's the truth, but to give further proof, let's check out a post from the Helldivers 2 subreddit where a player assumed the moderator was a developer, and the community manager responded with this. That is not a developer, that is a Discord moderator. Our server mods, blue names, are volunteers and players. We're working on some info for our players about the DSS currently. Apologies for not getting it out faster, but we're on it. Well, that should be interesting to see what the Democracy Space Station info will be about. I know there's a lot of negative feedback about the Democracy Space Station in general, yet more so the planetary bombardment wasn't well received. And I didn't like it either, so possibly they'll be able to give us news on what's going to happen now since it wasn't well received. Nonetheless, as you can tell, the Arrowhead team are planning on dropping news about the DSS soon enough, and I'll be sure to keep you all updated on that. Moving forward, we have news that the content hasn't been delayed, and the community manager has shared some insight on production and future plans. In response to a player who questioned if the content was delayed, Twinbeard wrote this. Not to sound blunt, but what patch? In any case, as far as I know, no patch or upcoming content has been delayed because of the DSS launch. We hope to be streaming relatively soon. There's a lot of stuff going into a thing like that, and we have a ton of other stuff to do outside that as well, but we're getting there. So if you didn't know, there were a few players out there that were expecting an update this Tuesday, as the developers usually push updates on Tuesdays. If there isn't one now, there will be one eventually. We know Twinbeard confirmed they are working on a patch for the Galactic War map, and while there's no confirmation on its arrival date, it's likely to come on a Tuesday given the developer's track record for releasing patches on a Tuesday. Anyway, a different player wanted to know if Arrowhead has any plans to stream on Twitch or YouTube, and if it will be pre-recorded like they usually do. The community manager Twinbeard replied with this. Both, it's not secret that we've gradually expanded our content production, which would mean continuing to do trailer and marketing production, interview vlogs, written blogs, a continuing increased social presence, and streaming on top of that for a solid mix. There's a ton of stuff we can and want to do there, both from both an HD and AH perspective. Looks like Arrowhead is planning on doing a lot with their new setup. If you haven't seen it, I've shown this post before where Twinbeer shared what the studio currently looks like for streaming. I'm sure we'll see the final image since his first image said Ini and the second one was Meanie, so I'm guessing the last one will be Mo. I'm excited to see what they've got planned so far in terms of streaming, and I'm sure you guys are excited as well. Let's talk about the pesky Jet Brigade. We have finally crushed them like a soda can. The proof can be seen here on the dispatch, and it says, "The Helldivers have delivered justice to the Automaton Jet Brigade for their atrocities against liberty. The Automaton's unit's avaricious pursuit of the DSS led to their entrapment on Ember, where they were finally destroyed." Then if we go down towards the bottom here, it says, "The Automaton still possess the means to rebuild a new Jet Brigade, a production facility somewhere deep in their territory. We will not be truly free until it is found and destroyed." Of course, if you check the Galactic War map, the Jet Brigade are gone. They're out of here, and we can now reclaim all the planets that have been taken over by them. They were essentially an exploding toaster bot, really, if you think about it. Who would have thought that something so small, so minuscule, could cause so much damage? Trust me, I didn't at first when I saw them pop up a month or so ago, but now I'm fully aware of their capabilities. Alright, with that aside, I've seen a lot of discussions brought up surrounding the recent news about crossovers. If you haven't seen my previous video, then go ahead and check it out. The CCO and CEO talked a little bit about crossovers, and a lot of you didn't like the idea of a collaboration, even on Reddit. There was a post that received a lot of upvotes about this exact topic. Personally, what I believe, there's no need to worry about this game turning into another Fortnite when it comes down to collaborating. Even in that exact post I went over recently, they mentioned how they didn't want to do a lot of crossovers. Plus, they seem to be cautious at the moment, so I wouldn't worry about Helldivers 2 turning into the next Fortnite. I don't think it's ever going to get to the point where you see Nicki Minaj diving down on a planet and shaking her, well, you know, the good old Jigglypuffs. So yeah, I don't think that's ever going to happen. The Arrowhead team, I'm pretty sure, only wants to collaborate with another team if it makes sense. Who knows, we could get a really cool crossover that not only makes sense, but is also fun. I'm personally all for them collaborating with another studio or IP because it's not like we're going to see a crap ton of skins from different games. It seems like they want to do a smaller amount, and I think that's perfectly reasonable. Next up, there's a Helldiver who recently got a response from the Arrowhead team about his wedding, and they actually sent him a letter, and General Brasch responded as well. We can see he got a certificate that basically says official congratulations from Super Earth. Then towards the bottom, there's an X for the special event, and General Brasch himself signed the bottom corner. I thought this was pretty cool for Arrowhead to do, and it shows they're a solid gaming studio that cares about their players, because they didn't have to send that fella anything back. Speaking of sending, they also sent him a letter that I just mentioned, and you can see here, which says, "Subject, congratulations on your Super Earth approved joint mission, marriage. Dear Helldivers, we are writing to formally acknowledge and commend you both on the successful completion of Operation Matrimony. Your decision to merge forces and embark on this lifelong mission together demonstrates a high level of strategic planning and operational commitment." Now, there's more to this post, but I just wanted to read a little snippet of it, just give you guys a little example of what they wrote to him, and that right there is incredible. Okay, continuing onwards, we've got a response from the support team about the verify or location bug. There's a player that created this title called, "Hey Arrowhead, the verify or vein location bug caught on camera." The support team member B Vitamin saw this post and commented that they're having trouble reproducing the bug. You can see here she wrote this: "We're having a lot of trouble reproducing the bug or determining the cause." Well, that doesn't sound too reassuring that they're going to patch it anytime soon. So perhaps it's one of those bugs that are hard to detect and figure out. If you've had this happen to you recently, then just know the QA team is fully aware of it, but they are trying to figure out what the main cause is. Next, let's take a look at the CCO Mr. Pillisted's response about color customization. In the past, Pillisted brought this up on the Helldivers 2 Discord, yet now he responded to a question on X when a player posted this, essentially tagging Pillisted, and the player asked for a color customization for armors. Surprisingly enough, Arrowhead CCO responded back with this: "We are looking into it." Neat, so they're looking into it, and hopefully that will be a feature we'll see soon enough. I cannot wait to be able to swap my colors on my armor, For instance, using the new Truth Enforcer's pattern on the Groundbreaker armor, assuming we'll be able to use the colors we've unlocked on all the armor types. I think that one would be amazing, so are you looking forward to the color customization feature or not? Let me know in the comments below. So, after this response, he replied to another player on X who asked why there isn't a belt-fed machine gun backpack. Pilist's response was that it's mainly due to minor technical reasons. Maybe there's not a way for them to do it at the moment, and perhaps they'll be able to implement that feature at some point down the road. I think it would be an amazing stratagem to have in game, and I know that's certainly a stratagem you all would love to be able to unlock. Can you imagine obliterating a bunch of Terminids with a huge machine gun? I know I can, and I definitely want to see that in the game now. But as they say, all good things come to those who wait, so I suppose patience is a virtue, and now we have to be patient, let the developers cook, and we'll see what they can come up with. Personally, I want to see new stratagems in the game. I think that's something we all would like to see since it's been a while. I'd like to see more support stratagems instead of a new orbital or eagle stratagem. But hey, that's my opinion, and hopefully soon enough we'll see more support stratagems. How about we now talk about a roadmap? We know the Arrowhead developers have their own roadmap for themselves, yet I've seen a lot of questions from you all about a roadmap, wondering why they haven't released one just yet. Well, we have a response from the community manager who responded to a player that asked about it. Twinbeard's post can be seen here, and he replied back with this. There are many pros and cons with a roadmap, which is one of the reasons it hasn't been decided on yet. We'll see what happens in the future. Personally and in general, I prefer games without them. I think that's completely valid. A roadmap can definitely ruin the excitement, but at the same time, it can for sure raise the excitement about their future plans. The only problem is, I think the last time I brought up a topic like this, a lot of you were against it because you would rather have the developers drop updates that are surprising instead of already knowing what's going to happen. What I'd like to do now is ask you about a roadmap. Would you be interested in a roadmap, or would you rather have them not show us a roadmap and just drop the patches with all these features that are just unexpected? Let me know what you think about this, and let's have a great conversation about it below. Speaking of a roadmap, Twinbeard gave his own take on it, and it can be seen here where he wrote this. Well, and again, this is my take completely outside HD2. The road traveled is often as good or even better than the goal. If you didn't have to wait for cool stuff, or if everything was revealed, it takes away the element of surprise, hype, and anticipation. Discussing stuff, teasing, rumors. It's also much more difficult to change plans and adapt to changing trends, etc. for developers. I can see an upside with a lot of the teasing and thinking out loud, as this feeds positive vibes and brainstorming. But personally, I don't want to know what lies beyond the horizon of my favorite games. I also almost never watch behind the scenes stuff for movies, etc. for the same reason. It kills the fantasy and vision for me. Not exactly the same thing, but it's similar nonetheless. I believe that's a great way of looking at it. You don't want to see what's happening behind the scenes essentially for a game, and that's sort of what the roadmap does. Basically, you'll be able to see what the developers have planned, and that could ruin the excitement for future patches. I don't know, as I've said before, let me know what you think about this. Last but not least, we are now going to talk about your suggested loadouts. If you have already posted a comment before, then post it again, and I might select it for the next video. We have a suggested loadout from a player named Halon TF2 that recommended the Dominator, which is incredible on commanders, hive guards, and smaller bugs. The secondary is the beloved grenade pistol for blowing up Terminid holes and enemies in groups. We've also got the gas grenade that I like to pair together with the sentry, and that's what Halon recommended. To use 2 sentry stratagems, for instance, the machine gun sentry and the rocket sentry. We've also got the Eats and the commando. The Eats for bigger enemies like the chargers, impalers, and bile titans, and the commando can be used on larger enemies. However, it takes more shots to defeat a bile titan and a charger as well. I don't have any negative feedback about this loadout, and I think it deserves a 5 out of 5 general Brasch medals. With everything being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. If you guys would like to be featured at the end of the video, all you have to do is comment down below, and if you get enough upvotes, you might just be featured at the end. The first comment is by Johnny B. Goody 8104. They should do a crossover with the Illuminate. Yeah, I thought that was quite funny when you posted that, and maybe it'll happen. Maybe they'll actually introduce the Illuminate finally. I know a lot of you guys are waiting for that. Not that it would be a crossover, but you get what I'm saying, and you also get the comment. So hopefully it will happen soon enough. The second comment is by Mikiru. Vehicles from soon? Press X for doubt. Yeah, a lot of you guys are doubting it, and who knows? Maybe it'll pop up soon. You never know. Maybe it's this year. We just don't know. There could be a possibility, but yeah, I'll probably press X. Lastly, we have the third comment by PowerPig303. I'm not for a crossover. They should focus on more Helldivers content. Yeah, they definitely should. But you know, I don't think a crossover is a big deal. And maybe that's something they plan to do like later on. Maybe they plan to throw out a bunch of content first, and then they plan to do the crossovers. We just don't know yet. But that could be a possibility. So those are the top 3 comments. Thank you guys for checking out the video. Once again, if you haven't done so, hit that red subscribe button and turn on your notifications, man. I know a lot of you are subscribed and you don't have your notifications turned on, so click the notification bell and turn it on. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, do it now. It's completely free. And if you would like to take the extra step, you can join the memberships down below and help out the channel even more. But that does cost, so joining as a member does cost, but subscribing is completely free. So if you hit the red button, it's free. You will not be charged. But yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.